Hi, I'm Paul with Escape into Film, and today we're talking about the new Hallmark Channel film, The Secret Ingredient. Hallmark actually airs new movies throughout the entire year. So in the month of February, they package a lot of Valentine's themed movies into one kind of section of movies called Love Ever After. So The Secret Ingredient is the latest in this. Yes, we're after Valentine's Day, but why would you stop airing Valentine's Day movies just because the Valentine's Day candy is all on clearance? By the way, February 15th, the best day of the year to buy chocolate. Well, candy in general. November 1st is another good candy day. So this movie actually follows a small town baker named Kelly. She owns her own little business and everything's working great for her. She's taking orders from around the nation. She's constantly busy. She's working more than 40 hours a week to keep her small business up. And it's not because she's struggling, it's because she's doing really well. This is going to come up later because it affects kind of the stakes of the film. Everything is going very well for her. So when her boyfriend, or actually her ex-fiance Andrew, played by Brendan Penny, when he shows up in their town, it kind of destabilizes the two of them. You can tell that you get the idea very clearly that they broke up, something happened. You get the idea that while they act like there's all water under the bridge, there's still something there. They still have feelings for each other, but there's also a little bit of a restrained regret between the two, the way it ended, however it ended. Yeah, they're doing really well. She's moved on, he's moved on, but now when they're brought into each other's orbit, it just puts them off balance enough. Now, there's a lot of these movies where you have a former boyfriend or girlfriend, and they break up, and then some of these movies they come back together. And the fun of those movies is actually seeing the dynamic. How do they interact with each other? Is it a little bit contentious, or is it, in the case of The Secret Ingredient, a little bit? They're very pleasant to each other, but it almost feels like they're pleasant in spite of however they're feeling. They're trying to be very nice with each other, and you can tell there's still some genuine feelings there, but the fact that Cahill, who plays Kelly, and Brendan Penny are the two stars of the film, that actually keeps the movie really buoyant. This isn't so much of a character-driven movie, so you have to rely on the inherent charm of Cahill and Penny to kind of keep it afloat and keep it moving. The fact that Kelly and Andrew are brought back into each other's lives is kind of what kickstarts the movie, but fans of anything on the Food Network will kind of love the fact that Kelly and Andrew then end up as contestants on one of these cooking shows, something that feels a little like Chopped or Iron Chef. The gimmick of the movie is not even that they're on a reality show, it's that Kelly does not know that Andrew's on the show, and he doesn't know that she's competing on the show, so they're competing against each other. Now, The Secret Ingredient is a very pleasant movie, and that has a lot to do with Cahill and Penny. It's kind of fun to watch them, kind of get back into each other's lives. What's a little bit less engaging is the fact that this is the worst kept secret in the movie. I feel like I should put a spoiler alert, except for it's so obvious that he's on the show and she's on the show. They telegraph it so completely and clearly that when the big reveal happens, nearly an hour into a 2-hour movie, then it doesn't feel like the surprise is there. You knew what to expect. A lot of movies are predictable. The fact that this in particular goes so far to, there are whole infrastructures within the plot that say, okay, you can't tell anyone you're on the show, Kelly, and if anyone knows, you might have to forfeit if you win. You might have to leave the show if anyone knows. Those are all things that are put in the movie very clearly to Kelly, but they're never fulfilled. They're never addressed later on. There was never become stakes for the movie. I wish they would have. I wish there was a little bit more in the film to either lean into the fact that everybody but these two know, but to try to act like it's some big secret, it just feels kind of like a waste of time. I wish that the movie had actually just went all in and said, hey, let's have fun. Let's have them really barely cross paths. Let's be a lot more playful with the idea of, hey, everybody but these two know. Now, I talked earlier about the fact that Kelly is a very successful small business owner. That actually, it gives her credibility to compete on this show, on a national Food Network type show. Now, this is, the movie goes around and says, hey, this is everyone's favorite food competition show. Okay, great. So why is this small town baker on it? And the film actually goes and bends over backwards to make it very clear that not only is she running a successful business, people know her brand. they love her food. Now, making her a very credible baker actually gives her a lot of legitimacy to be on the Food Network type show and to do well on it because, we know she's probably going to get pretty far in the competition, at least in the film. But this actually kind of hurts the movie in the sense that she has no real impetus, no real urgency to be on the show and win. The movie starts out with her business kind of blooming. Her business is keeping her busy and it's ever growing. She is not creatively hit a plateau. She likes what she's doing. The things that are concerning to her are kind of off and to the side. The fact that her parents are going to sell their cafe. That's a problem that's kind of over here. It's brought up enough to be a plot thread, kind of a B plot. But it's not like she says, oh, if I win, I can help buy my parents' business so they can go retire. She doesn't have a clear reason to be on the show other than to give herself a little bit more publicity, which even then, that's only very tangentially and very momentarily mentioned. I wish Secret Ingredient had gone a little bit further to say, hey, here's why Kelly needs to be on the show and not only be on it, but win. Give her a reason, a drive to be there. Because as it is, she's just kind of there, and honestly, it almost feels like a small victory for her just to be on the show. Now, anyone who says, well, it's fine, she could be on the show, this is a romance, why does she need to have a good, compelling reason to be there? One, it actually engages you more if you're invested along with her. But two, the movie really goes out of its way to establish that her ex-fiance Andrew is on the show because he wants to be. And he is there because he very clearly states he has to win because it will literally change his life. He is given the stakes that Kelly should have, or at least they both should have it. Each one of these characters should be really fighting to win this competition. It feels like Kelly is there, she's happy to win, whereas Andrew actually has a real need to win. He has things that he wants to do with his life that he could accomplish if he wins the competition. Another kind of odd thing, it's not something you notice until you've watched it, but the movie kind of has two modes. There's the small town where Kelly lives. She has her best friend who runs a store along with her. She has her parents who run a cafe in town that everybody loves and likes. And you get the idea that she loves her small town. Andrew comes in. Andrew has his sister. So there's a small ecosystem of characters there. Then when they go on the TV show is actually filmed in New York. You are now leaving that complete set of that ecosystem of characters and now going to New York, meaning you've left all these other characters that you've established and they're barely in the movie after the two characters go to New York. In fact, when you go to New York, now you're introduced to a couple of other peripheral production assistants. I get it. The production assistant who helps Kelly get around and the production assistant who helps Andrew get around. And you get the idea that they're there primarily to make sure that Kelly and Andrew are in the same, where they need to be plot-wise. But it would have been great if they had been given a little bit more character, a little bit more personality. As it is, they're just kind of sounding boards for whatever Kelly or Andrew is thinking in that moment. So it would have been better if they were given some of the characterization that you see with the best friend back at home, that you see with Andrew's sister. Secret Ingredient kind of works in a very pleasant way because, Cahill and Penny are very magnetic. The movie kind of works best when they're on screen together. The idea that they're on this show that's really artificially separating them is a little bit forced. It's unnecessary. It would have either been really fun to have each other know that they're both on the show. Maybe they get competitive, or let's say you still keep it a secret that they're each on the show. That have more fun with it, be more playful, and not just kind of pretend like you have this secret, that this big twist that's predictable, that's very, very, very easy to crack. There are plenty of great Hallmark movies that have protagonists who own businesses. The plot should always serve, how does this help their business or help them advance their career? The Secret Ingredient only kind of peripherally deals with the fact that, she's on a major TV show, this could be big for her business. The most entertaining parts of the movie are just when Kelly and Andrew get to just sit down and interact. And this has everything to do with the inherent charm that Cahill and Penny bring to their characters. And when it comes down to a final score, I think I'm going to go ahead and go with a 3 out of 5. I just wish the movie had made a bigger case of, if he wins, it'll somehow negatively hurt her. If she wins, it'll negatively affect him. That would bring a little bit more tension to the surprise that they don't know that they're competing against each other. If you want to read more of my reviews on Hallmark Channel content, you can actually go to escapeindofilm.com/Hallmark, all one word. And if you want to read just my general movie reviews, because I actually review all kinds of movies, that's just at escapeindofilm.com. You can actually follow me on Twitter at escapeindofilm, where I post all my movie reviews and just general thoughts on movies and all kinds of movie news. And I'm actually now on Instagram, where I'll be posting some of these videos and a lot of kind of photos of movie-related things and content. Thank you very much for watching. I can't wait to break down more of these Hallmark movies for you year-round. So until next time, bye.